It's such a gloomy day out today. Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to the show. My name is DDare Bionic, if you did not know, and I am black with another Last of Us review video. Okay, so it has taken me some time to sit down and actually film this video. I don't even know why. I'm just feeling like a little melancholy this week. You know how it goes. Anyway, what's up, y'all? I'm back with a Last of Us review video. Listen, this series is really eating the girls up. Like, it is one of, if not the best show that has come out in a really long time. That is not an original concept and is based on something else. It really, truly, and honestly, I am obsessed. They can do no wrong. They have done every single thing right. I don't know how they're doing everything right, but they are really killing it. So let's get into the review of episode 6. Episode 6? Are we on episode 6 already? Jeez. So we left off episode 5 with Sam and Henry, unfortunately, unaliving, being dead. And we start this episode 3 months after that. You know, Ellie and Joel have been walking through the wilderness, honey, you know, fighting for their lives, obviously. And we start off the episode with Elaine Miles and what? Oh, there he is. Graham Greene playing Marlon and Florence. They're this native couple who have been living off the grid for who knows how long, for a really long time. Chilling, thriving. We love to see native people thriving in the middle of the apocalypse because honestly, that's exactly how it would go. And so they're thriving in the middle of the forest. They're like, don't go past, you know, Ellie and Joel are trying to figure out where they're going. They're trying to get to Wyoming. They're like, don't go past the river. We've been seeing a lot of dead people, both infected and not infected. There's some bad people over there. You don't want to get mixed up in that. And Joel and Ellie are like, well, Ellie is like, bet. And Joel is like, okay. And we'll get a little bit more into that towards the end of the episode. So flash forward, I'm going to skip through a bunch of this because so much happened in this episode. They've been on the journey to find Tommy. And they get stumbled upon as they're walking through, and there's all these beautiful scenes and like the dam, which you see in the game. Like a lot of this episode was pretty true to the game. So they get surrounded by all these people on these horses. They're like, who are you here for? What are you doing? Are you infected? And obviously they are not infected. There's a moment where Joel is like scared that the dog that they have is gonna sniff something out in Ellie, but it doesn't, of course, because Ellie is that girl. And Joel is like, we're trying to find my brother. And Lady on the Horse comes up and she's like, what's your brother's name? Or what's your name? And he goes, my name's Joel. And so they take them back to the village. And this is how we find out that Tommy, played by Gabriel Luna, Joel's brother, has been thriving in this little settlement with his now pregnant wife, I believe they're married, Maria, who is played by Rutina Wesley. So Joel is like excited to see him at first. And then it seems that Tommy has changed in a way. Like, Tommy's about to be a dad. He's really not going out and, you know, doing the stuff that he and Joel had to do to survive during the beginning phases of, you know, the end of the freaking world. And he seems like he's kind of judging Joel for that. But we get this moment between the two of them. They're having whiskey. Joel is like trying to get Tommy to help him out. And Tommy's like, I got a kid on the way. Or that's when Joel tells Tommy he's about to be a dad. And they just have like an altercation. It's been a couple days since I've seen the episode, so I'm trying to remember stuff in order. So they get a house. Joel and Ellie, you know, get a place to lay their head and actually eat and have a real shower. You know, it's been months since that has happened. And after Ellie showers, she goes to Maria's house and they talk for a minute. And Maria is basically like, don't trust everybody. And she's like cutting Ellie's hair. And that's when Ellie finds out that Joel had a daughter that died. And this is where we get a scene that literally is shot for shot from the game. And I'm not there yet, but I'll get there in a second. So one of the great things about this series is how they're changing up these characters. You know, they're making Ellie a little bit softer. They're making her a little bit more believable as a kid. She's still badass, but she has this emotional depth to her that Bella Ramsey is bringing to their performance, and the world is kind of shaping around her. And it's really beautiful to see, because in the game, Ellie is like a bad bitch, but really is scared and like has kind of been forced to be more hard than she is. Whereas in the film, Joel is kind of, Ellie is taking her time to kind of come around to this badassery. Like, she puts on this front, but you see those emotional, really hard moments. So while Ellie is at the movies, because she's never been to movies before, I'm sure, Joel and Tommy have this really deep conversation, you know, after the argument, and Joel is like, I'm having panic attacks. I have been, I'm old, I'm getting old. I don't have the reaction time I used to. I'm deaf, which is a really great thing that they've kind of flipped too, because in the game, Joel has really good hearing in his, wow, the rain is really raining. I gotta walk to work in that. Oh my God. In the game, Joel has really good hearing in like one of his ears, I believe. It's like a thing, like a superpower almost, where he can like hear people coming. It's really cool in the game, and I didn't know how they would incorporate that into the series. And it's cool that they've changed it to him being a little bit hard of hearing, which makes sense because he's always firing the gun, and he's getting older. He's in his 50s. He can't do all those stunts that he was doing in the game. Like, sheesh. So he's having all this anxiety about not being able to get Ellie to the goal. And that is another really beautiful thing, because it's in this episode that we find out that Joel really cares deeply for Ellie. You know, they've spent all this time together, and he could have hardened his heart, which he was trying to do in the beginning. But instead, he's kind of opened himself up to taking care of this child that he really and truly feels like shouldn't have to go through this. You know, he knows what the world was like before it was a dystopian society, and he wants that for Ellie. He wants her to grow up, you know, and be happy and not have to fight off zombies all the time, and not have to be used for experimentation, and not, you know, not be so broken apart from the world. He really wants to heal the world, and he's a good guy. Joel is such a good person, and I think we miss that a lot in the game. And I think that's a part of his story that we miss, because my God, is he such a great guy. He's so hard because of, you know, he lost his daughter, he lost the woman that he was interested in, he lost his brother. Like, he's lost so much, and he's just trying to help everybody win, and I love that for him. After Joel kind of convinces Tommy to have this, or to take Ellie, essentially that's what he wants. He wants Joel to take Ellie, or Tommy to take Ellie to the Fireflies, and he wants nothing. He's trying to harden his heart, and he wants nothing else to do with Ellie. So we get this beautiful shot for shot, word for word almost scene, where Joel comes into the room where Ellie is, and she overheard him talking to Tommy, and is basically like, you can't possibly believe that going with someone else is going to be the best thing. Like, basically he's trying to convince her that I'm too old and frail, not frail, but I'm too old to do this. I can't do this. I'm scared. And she's like, you don't think I'm scared too? Like, you're the only person that has ever made me feel not scared. And you think being with someone who is more capable, more ready, is going to make it better for me, but it's just going to make me more scared. And she's like apologizing. She's like, I'm sorry about your daughter, but I'm not her. And he's like, don't you talk about my daughter. They have this emotional like match, and they're both saying the same thing to each other. They're both agreeing that they're both scared and they don't know if they can do it, but not realizing that the only way they can do it is together. It's so sad, because she's like, everybody that I've, you know, she's like, I've lost people, or she's like, I'm sorry that you lost your daughter, and he's like, you don't know what loss is, and she's like, I've lost people, every single person in my life has either died or left me except for you, and like, do you think this is really gonna help me? And so they have this big blowout, and he's like, at dawn, Tommy's coming to get you. And so at dawn, she's dressed and ready to go. Tommy comes to get her, and Joel is at the stables waiting, and he's like, I came to give you a choice. And Ellie throws the bag at him, and she's like, let's go. And like, I knew it was gonna happen, but I was just so happy to see. I know that they're both scared, and I know that they're both confused. They're headed to the college, Colorado something college or other. They're headed to the college, but I know that that it was the right choice, but also the wrong choice. So not necessarily the wrong choice, but what Joel was afraid of happens at the end of the episode. So we see them traveling by horse. You know, they get to where they need to go within 5 days. Tommy said it would take a week. They get there in 5 days. They're walking around the campus. They see monkeys. The monkeys are like running freely through the campus. They go in, they're investigating. They realize that the Fireflies, who is this organization, have moved and are no longer at the campus. And so they get attacked by these random hoodlums who are just out for no good, obviously. Kind of like not really important characters, but kind of important characters, whatever. They're up in the building investigating, and they see these guys walking around. Joel doesn't hear them coming. You better not make a bunch of noise. Thank you. Joel doesn't hear them coming. Ellie is like, Joel, and he gets almost hit by a bat. They get into a tussle. He kills the guy and realizes that when the bat broke, because he smacked it against a tree, the guy stabbed him with it. So Joel has this wound, and now we get more shot for shot of the game. They're riding off. You know, they're running away from these guys. If the guys are not following them anymore, and Joel falls off the horse. He's looking dead, and Ellie's like, I can't do this without you. Please don't fucking die. You can't die on me. What am I gonna do? I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. And then that's the end of the episode. What? Now, for those who aren't watching or who haven't played the game, you are probably shook the house down from this happening. But it really was jarring to see, that level of emotion in Ellie. Well, no, it wasn't jarring to see. That's the wrong word to use. But we had seen it in brief little moments in private, but not in public. Does that make sense? She hadn't openly been so emotional. And this whole episode was a great turning point for both characters. So next episode, apparently we're getting the Last of Us Left Behind, I think is what the name of the little expansion pass was. Apparently we're getting that flashback to Ellie's first girlfriend. And girlfriend, you heard me say it, girlfriend. It's getting real gay.
Hi, gay.
And I think that's when they're going to do the time skip. I can't remember how long the time jump is in the game, but that's when we're going to get that. And Joel is not dead yet. All in all, this episode was really beautiful. It tied up a lot of loose ends. It really, like I said, was a great turning point for character growth and for, these characters kind of realizing that they need each other, and they really, really, truly do need each other. So great episode. Beautiful turning point for Ellie and Joel. And we really do get to see them kind of bond more. There's one scene I kind of missed where they're hiding out in the woods before they head to Wyoming, and Joel is like, I'll take both watches, and he ends up falling asleep, and Ellie's going through the list of things that he taught her and was like, you tell me how to do all this, I can do it. And he's like, next time I fall asleep, wake me up. The growth between both characters is so wild to see on screen, because you don't imagine for it to you feel like it's episodic and everything is taking such time, Like, honestly, truly, this has probably been about a year, if not 6 months worth of time in these 6 episodes. But it's wild. It's wild how absolutely beautiful and how natural the growth and progression of these characters is. I'm very excited to see what they do with the next couple episodes, and I'm excited to see what goes on from here, what they do with season 2. Are they going to do like in between the end of The Last of Us and the beginning of Last of Us Part 2 and make it 3 seasons? I would love that. I would love to see what happens, for them to flesh out a story between. It also scares me a little bit, but they are doing a really good job so far of telling this story. So I have faith that season 2 is going to be equally as good as season 1. And if they decide to do it where they tell the story between The Last of Us Parts 1 and 2, that's totally fine. And they want to do a little, whatever, backstory, flashback, whatever. I don't know. It would be cool. But I am totally enamored with this series. I am absolutely obsessed. I love it to death. To life. To death. To life. Overall, I think I'll give this episode a 9 out of 10. The action is great. These past couple episodes have kind of slowed us down a little bit in the beginning of the episode and then given us the action toward the end, which I like. And I do believe that some very action-packed episodes are coming as we get towards the conclusion of the series. So I am ready to see some more Infected. I think that's one thing they need to bring into the series more. Obviously, they're not going to be running around like crazy because it doesn't happen that way. It wouldn't happen that way in real life. They would be able to kind of get around without seeing so many Infected, like you see in the game. But I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more scare. Lately, it hasn't been scary, and I'm ready to be scared, okay?
How many people were scared? Me too. I was really, really scared.
That's all I have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. The goal, I have to say this to you all, the goal for this year, if you have made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate you, is 1,200 subscribers. Not going for just 1,000. I'm going for 1,200 because 12 is my lucky number. So by the end of the year, by December 31st, 2023, a minimum of 1,200 subscribers. So please share these videos with your friends. Comment down below what you want me to review, what you want me to talk about. Make sure you are subscribed, like, comment, share, and hit the notification bell so you get a notification every single time I post a video. That's twice a week, and Monday is a guaranteed video of Mental Health Chat Monday. I have been so proud of the series, and I really need you guys to watch and keep that going, and keep shopping Lunar Tides hair colors, shop my merch, buy my album, all that good stuff, because all of that goes to directly support me as an artist and this channel. And I greatly appreciate every single person who uses my code or buys something or even just likes my video or comments or whatever. I appreciate it all. So 1,200 by December. Okay, you got me. Let's check on it. That's all I have for you today, you all. I love you so very much. My links are all down below. Bye.